The bustling CBS This Morning studio in New York City pulses with that signature pre-dawn rhythm on an overcast October Tuesday in 2025, the curved anchor desk aglow under soft blues and whites, the audience a mix of bleary-eyed commuters and devoted daytime devotees clutching mugs of steaming Joe, their murmurs building to applause as co-hosts Gayle King, Tony DeCopel, and Nate Burleson stride out. Nate, the 44-year-old ex-NFL star turned newsman, in a sharp navy suit that hugs his athletic build, his megawatt smile and booming baritone setting the tone for a segment that's billed as inspirational. The crowd swells as Meghan Markle, the 44-year-old Duchess of Sussex, makes her entrance, radiant in a tailored emerald green blazer dress that echoes her American Riviera orchard branding, her caramel waves framing a face that's equal parts poised actress and purposeful advocate. She's here to unveil her latest Archwell powerhouse. Echoes of Empowerment, a multimedia series blending podcasts, Netflix docs, and a lifestyle app for women's mental health, drawing from her own post-royal reinvention. Gayle rises for a warm embrace, Tony nods approvingly, and Nate dives right in with his trademark warmth. Meghan, from Suits to Sussex to this, girl, you're slaying the empowerment game. Spill on how Montecito's magic fuels the mission. Laughter laps the room as Meghan settles into the guest seat, painting vivid pictures of family life. Archie, now 6, channeling his inner inventor with Lego forts inspired by Daddy's polo tactics. Lilibet, 4, her budding artist phase with finger paints that rival Picasso's palettes. The vibes velvet smooth for the first 10 minutes. Clips from the series roll, Meghan in heartfelt huddles with survivors in South Africa, her voiceover resonating, echoes aren't echoes if we amplify them together. Nate leans in, eyes twinkling, as a dad to 4, I feel this, how do you balance boardrooms and bedtime stories? Meghan shares laughs about Harry's disaster dad, dance moves during Lily's recitals, Gayle cooing, Tony quipping about his own kid chaos. It's all synergy, the audience nodding in unison, until Nate, ever the straight shooter with that gridiron grit, pivots mid-segment, his broad shoulders squaring as he fixes her with a gentle but probing gaze. Duchess, this series is fire, pure uplift for women worldwide. But real talk, the headlines still hound you as the runaway royal, cashing in on crown conflicts with every Netflix nod and app alert. Charles is battling health shadows, William's solo on the throne train, yet here you are, echoing empowerment while the echoes of Spare still sting the family. Isn't this just polished payback, or have you truly tuned out the tabloid tango? The studio's energy evaporates like mist in a microwave, a collective breath catches, phone subtly rising in the rows as Meghan's smile freezes, her manicured fingers tracing the edge of her teacup in a subtle tell of turmoil. She inhales deeply, retort rolling out like a scripted soliloquy edged in steel. Nate, empowerment isn't echo chamber, it's excavation. I've unearthed my voice from the vaults of silence the firm enforced, building bridges for women who whisper in the dark like I once did. Spare wasn't payback, it was prevention, for my children, for every girl gaslit by giants. Critique from your commentator's couch is easy, I've carried the crown's curses on camera. Nate, undeterred, his voice rising like a halftime hype, prevention. Or prolongation, you're banking billions on the bitterness. Meghan, podcasts parsing palace paranoia while Diana's daughters-in-law like Kate grind gracefully. Empowerment's empowering when it's not evergreen grudges, time to pass the mic. Gasps punctuate the air, Gayle's eyes widen behind her glasses, Tony's pen pauses mid-scribble. Meghan's cheeks flush a rare rose, her tone cresting to controlled crescendo, grudges. Try ghosts, Nate, ghosts of chases that could claim lives, of institutions that ignored my pleas. You tackle truths on the field, I've tackled them in the firestorm. This series silences no one, least of all me. Appreciate the airtime, but not the ambush. The volleys on, Nate invoking, leaked letters, on her, demands, Meghan firing back with therapy triumphs and tabloid traumas that birthed her brand. The panel flounders, Gayle grasping for grace, let's keep it loving, but the fuse is lit, the audience fracturing into fervent factions. Abruptly, Meghan elevates with unassailable poise. Nate, your morning's just dawned mine, I've echoed enough for today. Team, thank you for the spotlight, viewers, tune into the series for the symphony. She rises fluidly, mic unclipped in a flourish, strides off the set with heels echoing like a gavel, security shadowing her exit as the feed frantically fades to a weather wipe. Nate, left mid-gesture, rubs his chin with a stunned chuckle. Well, that's one way to end on a high note, back after this, folks. Producers plunge into pandemonium backstage, headsets hissing directives, while Meghan's convoy catapults her to a waiting chopper on the helipad, Harry's FaceTime flashing, Megs, you mic drop the morning, proud doesn't cover it. X erupts in an exosphere explosion. Hashtag Meghan kicked off CBS trends at warp speed. Smuggled spectator snippets surging to 20 million views. Memes mashing her march to formation, fanfares. Royal Ragers revel. Piers Morgan podcasts. Burleson's body slam on the bolter. While Sussex Sentinels seethe. Nate's narrative ambush. Hashtag Duchess defiant. Gayle tweets triage. Passions the pulse of progress. Wishing Meghan waves of wellness. This skirmish. No snack break. It's a seismic sunrise showdown, where a sportsman's sincerity skewers a sovereign saga, scripting morning TV's most mesmerizing meltdown. As the skyline stirs, one verity vaults. When Meghan meets Nate, kicks aren't just off, they're offside, igniting infamy's infi. As the autumnal amber of midday drapes the Empire State in gilded glow, the Burleson-Meghan brouhaha on CBS This Morning burgeons into a broadcast bonfire, blazing across bandwidths from Battery Park to Buckingham, where viral vignettes vivify the verbal vortex, spawning schisms that splinter screens and synapses in a spectacle spanning sunup to sundown. CBS's command center crackles with catastrophe coordination, footage fast-forwarded for fine-tooth forensics, Nate nursing a nitro cold brew in the green room, replaying the parry with a pensive pivot, went for the goal line, hit a highlight reel, she's steel in stilettos. The follow-up feeds with fortified finesse. Gayle galvanizing the group, y'all, Meghan's mission moves mountains, Nate's nudge was nerve, but nuance nurtures. Tony tempers with thoughtful takes, but Nate nails the narrative, empowerment's electric, hers crackles, mine questioned the current. No shade, all salute to the spark. The unvarnished uproar unleashes online via viewer vignettes, 90 million metrics by matinee, TikTok teasing Meghan's mic fling at 12:41 synced to. Unstoppable, undercurrents, X's hashtag Nate nails Meghan netting 4.5 million missives morphing his mug to Muhammad Ali mid-jab. Meghan's mid-flight to Monterey, cocooned in citation serenity, cascades an archwell communique that's cathartic clarion, thanks to CBS for the canvas, Nate's nerve nudge the narrative but echoes amplify undaunted. Women's whispers warrant wings, not weights. Series subscriptions skyrocket 650%, enthusiasts excavating episodes in empathetic embrace, Harry hailing her at hangar with a husky, my echo, my everything, Ozzy and Harriet who? Palace percolations prickle, the Standard splurges, Duchess derailed down under. Charles as Chamberlain's confiding, chuckling chagrin, over, endless encore, William's web weaving, wearied of the waltz, but wickedly warranted. Late night luminaries leap, Jimmy Kimmel Kits A Royal Rumble remix, with Nate as NFL narrator, quipping, Meghan bolted quicker than Burleson from a blitz, CBS's new contact sport, as Trevor Noah nods nuanced in his Netflix nook. CBS's Coombe climbs 48%, overlords orbiting, morning mayhem, modules, while Archwell architects, echoes against entitlement, a no-cost nexus for navigating naysayers, transfiguring taunted toolkit. Nate's network nods with nuance, post-tape pings. His, slice the suspense, Duchess, sorry for the sting, sequel sit down. Her, appreciated the athleticism, Nate, let's echo equitably next. Ripples ravage realms. Advocacy alliances applaud the awareness avalanche for mental health mainsails, equity enclaves etchidas, matron versus mogul, marginalization mirrored, partisan pits pit, privileged prima donna punted. Paparazzi pester Penn Plaza for her post-chopper promenade, but diversions deflect the deluge, Meghan merging into mommy milieu with muddled masterpieces alongside Lily. By cocktail hour, the Sussex stratagem synthesizes a Spotify sprint, sampler, echoes of exile, encapsulating the exchange, from morning mic to midday mic, unmuted. Nate, noshing at a NoHo noodle nook, narrates to Newsies, tackled the titan, toughened my tenor. The hubbub harmonizes. Reddit realms relitigate. Burleson's bullseye are boorish, viral videos vault the vitriol to virtuosic violin voicings. Under the uproar, an undercurrent uncurls. This wasn't wasteful wrangle but a window to wounded wavelengths, where a broadcaster's broadside burnishes a broadcaster's brand. No hides harmed, but headlines head-to-head. Nate's noose notched as navigator, Meghan's medal minted in the melee. As vespers veil the village, the afterglow attests. When Duchess's dual dawnsman, dialogue detonates deeper, and the devotees. Diners on the dust-up decanted into delectable drama. This tempest, not trickle, torrential tide, transmuting tussle into testament. Tune the tube, the telegraphs throbbing with throes to come. Harvest moons multiply to mid-November's mantle, and the Burleson-Meghan melee metamorphoses into a medley of mediation and milestone marches, melding melee into a medallion of momentum that magnetizes media from Malibu mesas to Manhattan monoliths, manifesting moxie in every montage. Meghan, majestic in her meadowed manner, maestros the echoes of empowerment, extravaganza under harvest lanterns, icons like Michelle Obama orating her odyssey, from CBS Crossfire to Clarion Call, you transmuted trial to triumph. Streams shatter stratosphere, Netflix nominating it, nugget of the November, with a sophomore season solicited sowing Nate's nudge into nuanced narratives. Nate, nexus of his news niche, narrates a morning muse module on his midday mic, re-examining the rumble with roundelay reflections, his intro intoning nudge the narrative. Necessarily, nods to Meghan's medal, the Maven's got morning star magnetism. Metrics mount to meteoric, Peabody murmuring at the nuanced news nerve, as he helms a hybrid hookup, co-convening an Archwell Awareness Assembly for athlete advocates, his linebacker legacy lending lift. Palace plinths part provisionally, Camilla's chronicle in country life croons, contretemps cultivate crowns, courier in coy Yuletide yarns, Williams Westminster walk winks at, familial friction forges fortitude. X's xylem yields #Meghan Nate Nexus, 6.2 million missives merging mock mergers, fanfictions filching their fray into feel-good folktales. Primetime, protagonists play, James Corden crafts a comeback cocktail, cameo, conjuring Emmy echoes. Wider waves wax, Whitehall workshops weld, discourse directives, from the dust up, weaving Meghan's manifesto into mediation mandates, Yankee yards yield, empathy escalators in ethics engines. Archwell's Nexus nets nebulae in navigation nodes, downloads doubling as detractors dissipate. Meghan meditates amid marigolds, Nate's nettle, nectar to the narrative, nurtured the nucleus. Nate, navigating Narragansett nautical nods, narrates to navigators, bump the blue blood, buffed my broadcast ballast. Juridical jetsam junked, no Jeremiads, just juxtaposed jubilations on joint journals. As Advent's aurora advances, the Sussexes stage a solstice salon, Nate navigating the nautical 9 hours for noshes and natter, nuzzling mid-nibble, Duchess, next negotiations over NFL nods, not noble niggles. Gales of glee gild the gathering grand. The imbroglio, infused into icon, inflecting infamy into inspirational ink. Meghan's marquee, monumental, matriarch mythos magnified, mission manifest. Nate's, nimble, newsman nicked in nobility's notch. In this incantation of infighting to infusion, the quintessence quickens, morning TV's maelstrom magnet, where wrangles waltz into wisdom's waltz, and, kicked off, kindles, kicked up. No coronets cracked, but constellations converged toward concord. So serenade the salvos that symphony into sagas, to screens that summon shared sagacity. Meghan Markle's Burleson bust up. Not banishment, but beacon, brilliant, bardic, and burgeoning boundless. And if auroral altercations allure your awakening, absorb this, the arcs arched, the aftermath aglow.